What's going on, everybody? James here, redoptionagency.com, 22 years selling full-time on eBay. And so it's Sunday morning, and Sundays I just kind of do whatever. It's just one of those days where I try not to have a specific routine. And so I ended up jumping around on YouTube. And apparently I missed a lot of drama going on, a lot of negative-ish drama, if you will. So I kind of wanted to. I wrote down some comments that I saw and was starting to formulate things in my head. I'm like, well, let's turn on the camera. Why not? Let's go through this. So there's. Let's go with first negative drama on YouTube, especially in the reseller community, but across the board on all topics. Negative drama garners a lot more views than positive ones. My channels, I did a test the other day just to kind of show that, and I'll show that to you here in a second. But yeah, I haven't been, on YouTube doing the reselling content for as long as some, but you kind of catch on pretty quick what type of content will get you more views. So if you're trying to grow your YouTube situation, especially if you're not doing well on the eBay front or the reselling front as a whole, you're hoping that you can get your YouTube to make X amount of money to kind of offset what you may be failing on the reselling side, which kind of is a contradictory if you think about it. If you're failing on the reselling side, but you want to grow your reseller content, really the only way you're going to be able to do that is by succeeding, or by faking it, or by bringing in the negative. So I did a test on a video 5 days ago called There Are Ugly, Selfish Resellers on YouTube. And I put in the title, let's talk about other resellers on YouTube to get views. Kind of a negative indication or condensate topic, if you will. But I didn't talk about nobody. That wasn't the point. The point was to see how many views this video can get just based off of the title and thumbnail alone. So in this video, I did not bring any subject up about this, about anybody. And if you look here, 2,000 views. Look at the one before, 1,000 views. Look at the one after, 1,000 views. 1.2, 1.3, 1.1. Before, 1, 789. So that negative outline garnered me a lot more views. That's why people do it. One of the reasons. Another reason is to why some bash other people is to make up for their own shortcomings. And that's a fact. And, like I said, I'm not giving names or even going to highlight anybody. It's more about the negative overall results and some of the negative statements that feed them. And how can we turn that into kind of look at it in a positive way, if you will. So for me, those are the reasons why people make negative videos. And I think a lot of it has to do with shortcomings, honestly. But the bottom line would be that no matter what the actual intention is, I think that's the bottom line. But so one of the statements I had seen was, they sell other people's unwanted junk. That's not really a business. And I'm like, well, that don't really make sense. In my head, that's clearly someone who doesn't know what business actually means. Business is, let's just look it up. Meaning of business. Business is a practice of making money by producing or buying or selling products and services. It doesn't say, oh, it has to be new product. It does not say it cannot be someone's unwanted product. It does not say it cannot be junk. Hell, junk yards are called just that, junk yards. Now, legally, through the government, your business, if you make X amount of money for X amount of months, you are technically have to become a business. So, just by the definition alone, yes, anybody who sells other people's unwanted junk and does it with a certain level of here I go, missing keywords again. A success, certain level of success is technically a business. So obviously, most of us know that that statement alone is rubbish. I saw another video where someone was trashing like CDs. Don't buy CDs. They're not worth it. You can't make no money on CDs. And I saw that video and I'm like, well, actually you can. Not only can you, I can show you it can be done. But first and foremost, that video for me showed a shortcoming. The person making that comment forgets the whole first level of a business. The first level of business is you make your money when you buy. So if you can't buy CDs at a certain level, of course you cannot sell CDs at a certain level to make money on it. Let's see what. Now me, I get CDs by mostly 10 to 25 cents a piece, and have been that way for the past 22 years. At times I would pay over just to get my foot in the door somewhere, so that when I knew I was going to be able to get, CDs for a lot less eventually from that source. But let's just take last year alone. Like last year for me, CDs made $37,735. So, and it's usually always number one or number two on my list. Even, let's just go this year. Thus far this year, it is number one on my list. Music CDs, $6,557 worth of CDs just in the first 2 months of the year. You can't make money on CDs, but you make your money when you buy. And if you can't buy CDs cheap, you're not going to be able to sell CDs. That's just simple business common knowledge. You can't make money on something if you don't buy it at the right price. And if you don't have the knowledge to do that, then your first instinct to make up for your shortcoming of lack of knowledge or lack of ability to do that is you can't make money on it. I think my overall point here is be careful who you watch. Take everything with a grain of salt, if you will. There's going to be a reason behind what people say. And it may not be the most positive, or not just positive, but the most motivating way, or even the correct way of doing it. I don't know. My final statement, and this was my thought. Too many resellers get caught up in what they think they know or what they think will work. And I think that's the biggest downfall of a reselling business. Now, yes, you have to enjoy what you do, 100%. Yes, it's better to enjoy selling what you love. Yes. But that is not always the key to success. How many comments have you heard or seen on my videos that state, you can't make money on stained hats? You can't make money on low dollar CDs or low dollar media, or there's a reason, there's 1,000 different comments that people have made on the product that I sell. But yet, it's not about what this person believes or thinks someone will buy just because they're putting their own emotions into it. Well, I wouldn't buy that, so nobody else will. Well, my statement always has been, somebody bought it once, there's going to be somebody to buy it twice. Those are kind of words I've lived by. And if you go by those words more than I wouldn't buy that, you're going to be more successful in the reselling business. So mine was built on my love, backed with, if somebody else bought it once, somebody else will buy it twice. So when you go through here, I sell things that I'm like, no way, I would have passed up. But if I was thinking only buy what I like. Now, obviously, first you see a lot of media and hats, because those are my two biggest categories. But then you see something like this that Jan picked up, these metal hanging stars that she picked up at the bins. Extremely light tin wall hangers. I personally wouldn't have picked those up, or even have thought about picking those up. Women's clothes. It's not that I don't enjoy wearing women's clothes. I will if I have to, but it's outside of what my love is, and that's the whole thing. It's not always going to be about what you love. Man, my sinuses messed up today. Women's denim jacket, kids' shoes for that fact. The other day I picked up a whole box of VHS tapes. Why, I have no idea, but I already sold one. Women's maternity pants. I picked them up because I figured, I've never picked them up before. I see maternity pants all the time. Let me grab a couple pairs and see if I can sell them. Swimming gear. I can't swim, but I know swimming gear sells. I think my biggest, one of the biggest points is there's a lot of information out there, and it's not always going to be in your best interest. Because it depends on where it's coming from, first and foremost. This ain't my thing, but Jan found a whole bunch of calendars of the Chippendale Dancers, then that Charmed TV show, and this was one of them that was in them. And if you've been watching my videos, you saw those Chippendale ones. I sold $50, $70, $60. The Charmed ones I think went from $25 to $45 a piece, and then this one finally sold. So it's not always about what you think will sell. And I had no idea on these. Jan had called me from the bins and said, hey, I got all these new calendars. Or no, they weren't even new, actually. And this one's from 2009. And I looked one up and I said, oh, hell yeah, grab them. I think, especially if you're getting started out, do not pigeonhole yourself. Do not get tunnel vision and go, okay, I'm only going to do what I enjoy. I'm only going to do what I think would sell. Because guess what? Not everybody knows everything. And the less you know, the less chance to be successful you're going to be. And for some, that might be a hard ego thing to get over, but you have to think like that. This, Jan picked up, and I said in the video the other day, I almost didn't list this because I'm like, I got that, click that instinct, not even instinct, click that mindset of, nobody's really going to buy this, are they? But of course, somebody bought it once, somebody will buy it twice. I went ahead and listed it, and it sold. Almost within, I think, 2 days of listing it. You have to check your ego at the door if you want to run a business. It's not about your feelings, your emotions, or your ego when it comes to running a business. And because it's not, cha-ching, it's not going to be about what you think will sell. It's going to be what other people will buy. And believe it or not, sell-through rate is not the be-all, end-all of what you should be grabbing. Because let's just take some, let's see if I have anything. Let me go highest, right? This CD, I accepted an offer for $100 on it. Do you know what the sell-through rate of this is? It's going to show 0 because none sold, except mine. So before me listing this, sell-through rate would have been 0. Let's even take something like this vintage raid shirt, see how many are up. When I put this up, I don't think there was any up. So let's see if there's any even up. Let me take off some words here to try to get it better aligned. But sell-through rate is 1. When I listed it, I was the only one up. So that would show you that, guess what sell-through rate's going to be? Whoops, where was I? I don't even know where I was at. Go back over here. Let's see if anybody else had the instinct that I did about buying this Motley Crue cassette. I bought this brand new when the band released it. If I went by sell-through rate, guess what? I would not have bought this cassette. There are none up on eBay right now. And I was the only one who thought, hey, I'm going to buy this cassette to resell. I would not have made that decision if I went by just sell-through rate. So you have to keep learning. That's the biggest thing. This flag, there was none of these with the exact pattern when I listed this. And I didn't know what to list it at. So I listed it $140. And I go, okay, well, I'll take the first offer that came in. I don't remember what they sent. But I picked it up at the bin, so it cost next to nothing. I would not have picked that up if I went through and used sell-through rate as the determining factor on that item. The same with this cassette. There was none of these up. Now cassettes I'm going to know a little bit more about because that's one of my main loves. But I was the only one up. I'm the only one that sold. Before I sold that, sell-through rate, non-existent. Let's see if this was up. I picked this up at the Nashville bins when we went on vacation. And I didn't look it up. I just picked it up because I knew enough to say, hey, pick this item up. So there are some of those out there. But this could be all different sizes and different types. We know how eBay search has been lately. It's almost impossible to do comps when you're out and about. Let's see something about this bobblehead. See if this was up. Because I think I was the only one up, so I went high on this at the time. And none up. And I'm the only one. Let me take 10-inch out just in case. Oh, there's one right there. So there's another one up. That one sold after mine. Would you have picked that up? if you found no sell-through rate on that item. Well, if you did, you would have, I think it sold for, I don't remember. I honestly don't remember. 50 bucks, 70 bucks, 35 bucks. I don't know. Either way, it would have been worth it. The same with the CD. This promo cassette single. Now, you hear me enough talk about promo singles, and you've seen me sell enough if you watch my videos to pick up that knowledge. But if you did not watch that content of me selling those particular items, would you have picked this up if the sell-through rate was non-existent? So if you saw, I mean, if there's others up there for this, you'd probably pick it up and go, oh, well, there are people asking for it. Well, actually, would you? If you saw this cassette and you saw people were sitting on them for $200, but none have ever sold, would you have bought it? Some may not. Mine sold for, yeah, it did sell for the $100 because I was doing one of my videos when it sold. So it sold for $99.99. So I undercut everybody and sold it, creating a sell-through market for it. Now, the next person who sees that, if they find this in the store and it's only $1, guess what? One sold for $100, they're going to buy it. It's only what, out of 3, 1 out of 3, so only a 30% sell-through rate. But you made $100. This CD here, something Jan picked up that I was even shocked when I put it up, and there was none other at the time. $100. Nobody had this Marilyn Manson shirt up when I listed it. Now, concert t-shirts, most people know concert t-shirts to grab. But would you actually even know this is Marilyn Manson? I am the God of that, and it has this symbol there. It doesn't have nothing about Marilyn Manson on it. So you would have to know this information. So it's not always about sell-through rate. It's not always about finding what you know. The biggest thing is always learning. And the best way to learn is to watch what sells, what other people are selling. That's why I like to do my shipping videos or my what sold videos, because that's where you're going to get your best knowledge from. I mean, what is this hat? Make ATO rage again. I have no idea. But my rule of thumb, I grab all hats because they cost like $0.25. Would you grab this hat? Probably not. Would you grab this hat? Forest Hills? Probably not. Would you grab something you don't recognize? A logo you don't. How many times do I say, I don't know what this is, but it's sold? That's the information you need to be learning from other people. I'm just trying to think of some more positive things to add to this. So just don't get caught up in a phone falling on the floor. Don't get caught up in other people's drama is not really the word. Other people's limitations, if you will. Go for more just the facts. My rule of thumb is if a reseller is basically giving off the vibe, this is the way to do it and the only way to do it, you're already in the wrong room. I think that's all I have. But so let's get into the numbers real quick if you're watching this far. Yesterday ended up $769, so not bad yesterday at all. It felt like that the shutdown instead of Thursday night was maybe Wednesday night this week, at least the big shutdown, because Thursday night I felt like the whole thing started having to index again, and then that worked its way up. So hopefully we'll have another strong day today. We're at noon right now, and we're only at 152, so a little slow. Uh, 50 items sold yesterday, 23 organic, 27 promoted. We're at 11 so far today. So, oh, I think I've said everything that I need to say, but it's more about just a warning. Pay attention to what actually does work, and have an open mind that that's not the only way there is to do it. It's just one way you can add to your arsenal. So, all right. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you all in the next video.